Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Strick and Bob. Hold up.
We are live coming to you here on a Friday on the block. I'm Jake Bachman. He's the Husker Hall of Famer, longtime NBA vet Eric Strickland, and we're ready for another couple hours of sports action for you. Steve Sipple going to join me in the upcoming the 5 o'clock hour to round things out for the show. But Strick hanging with us as he's got another travel day planned. And my goodness, after what we learned last time, Strick, hopefully your travel day works a lot better than it did going into your trip.
I mean, that'll be the plan. Hopefully it's not one of those ones like that happened last time, boy, because I was sure I actually felt the effects of it still from yesterday. Just how you don't realize how much that does affect you, just being stuck and not knowing the situation. And whew, yeah. And then the flying itself is already it's a jet lag. I don't know what the jet lag is or how it works, but it does wear on you. I don't know if it's dehydration or whatever the case is, but I tell you what, I'm telling you, the way that they're doing these series is helping. I'm when you think about having to go from coast to coast, get there, get settled, and still have to play a game. So I mean, I'm just going from the Midwest to the Midwest, and I'm tired.
Yeah. I can't imagine it's gonna take a wear on them. Hopefully, I mean, thankfully, they're staying in Boston, so they just gotta have the 1 day break. We'll talk about that here and coming up and hitting the hardwood. Boston can all but take control of the series tonight if they get a win. So it's fascinating on that front tonight. We were just talking about if it's and we got to ask you because you kind of been in this. Of course, we're talking about how when is the age where it gets kind of awkward to ask a player for their autograph. Of course, it's not too awkward in situations and settings like we have, like a remote or something where somebody comes up to ask you for your autograph at this point. But when you were a player, was it strange, basically, if there was one adult and a group of kids asking you for an autograph?
I'll say probably one of the weirdest situations would have been I think we're in LA, and it was me, Michael Finley, Steve Nash, and Dirk Nowitzki. And we were sitting at a restaurant and we were just eating a nice meal. I think it was in Crustaceans or something in LA. Nice little restaurant. It may not have been that. It was somewhere else where it kind of had like an outside vibe where you eat the meal and had like some vines on the side walls. It was really nice. So out of nowhere, there was a group of about maybe 3-4 kids, and then a parent and a kid that came up to us while we were first waiting on our meal, and then our meal came and while we were eating. Yeah. And the thing that I appreciated about our group at that time is that it wasn't a lack of disrespect or not wanting to do it. It was just at that specific moment, that was just not the right time. It was, we wanted to eat a meal. We had a game the next day or something. And, we wanted to just enjoy that moment in that space. Yeah. And so those are like kind of awkward times when you don't want to be a jerk about it or whatever the case may be, but also you want to make sure that there's respect on, that type of space
on the other side. Yeah.
And so we did that, but then afterwards we signed a few of them. The issue becomes is when you're in a large environment or something like that. There was times when I would be sitting with I think I might have mentioned I was sitting with Deion Sanders, who are, at that time I was married to his Deion Jr.'s mom. We were at the football game when he's playing at SMU, and I love the fact that I wasn't as known as Deion. so most of them were coming for him.
Yeah.
And I understood his point. Because we're in a stadium, so if he signs a few autographs for a few people just out of the love, then everybody who would want one in the stadium would feel slighted if he doesn't do it. So at that point, he just would state to him, he would be like, listen, I'm here to watch my son. I'm here. This is his time. So I can't do it right now, but thank you. I appreciate it. And he would send him on. And then it got to a point where he started, people would see that he was needing that space, and then they would pretty much just leave alone and they wouldn't come. So I don't think he wanted to be. Now, I do know some of my old teammates, like, for example, AC Green, he wouldn't sign autographs at all. Like, it just wouldn't happen. And so for me, I don't too much mind. It's just the situation or the time frame. I don't mind. I mean, I'm not anybody special. I'm just old me. I'm a pretty extroverted type of guy anyway. You know what I mean? So for me, it's not a major problem. It just, if it's in a certain situation where I know I'm going to have to be there for an hour and a half or 2 hours, if I sign these few, then that would lead me to be like, I can't right now.
Yeah, it's interesting. I always find it kind of odd. Like, if I don't necessarily, I'm just not a big autograph guy, and so maybe that's where I don't see it too much. But I always feel like I don't need to prove to you that I saw somebody, right? Like, I don't need to get Jay Leno's autograph if I see Jay Leno. If you don't believe me, that's fine. That's not going to hurt my feelings. It still happened. So it's kind of whatever. But of course, as a kid, you get really excited for that stuff. So I understand that. But I just feel like there's a certain age where it's like how much bigger of a deal is it to go out and watch a game of somebody have played and then waiting around afterwards to try to get their autograph. Like, you already saw them play. You can already go tell everybody, take pictures, do whatever you want. But I know it's cool for some people to
memorabilia actually is a big one. A couple of my close friends own memorabilia companies, and they're doing pretty well. It's big business. That's the crazy thing about it, right? Like, just for example, you happen to catch a Luka Doncic in his rookie season, and you have his gold or premium type card for rookie, and he get that signed. Hold that. That. You know what I mean? People that got Michael Jordan's rookie and hundreds of thousands of dollars, because they're just people that are like that, right? But then there are other people that aren't in that sphere, and to them it doesn't matter, and they probably thrown hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of cards that they had when they stored when they were kids out of the freaking in the trash. But that's the crazy thing. They actually mean something to some people. Like, for example, Shaq's house was on the market when I was living in Florida. When we would get on the boat and we'd drive by it, and it was on the market for years. And it's because of what we just talked about. It's when your house is so customized, to include Michael Jordan's. I don't even think his is sold yet in Chicago. But when your house is so customized to you, it has to be someone who just absolutely loves you, but has that kind of money that wants what what's customized to you, right? Because most people, when you buy a house, you want it customized to you, you don't want it customized to someone else. So that's why it takes so long, and so other people may take it eventually and gut it. But I mean, it's big business though, Bach, and that's the crazy thing about it. Because I understand your sentiment. I mean, I'm not very big on it myself. I mean, I have jerseys. I've exchanged jerseys. I've kept some. I've got like Walter Payton's jersey and other people's jerseys and stuff like that I've kept for a long time. But I'm like you. I'm not big on it. I'm cool with the relationship. If I know you and I met you and I've got a chance to do that, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, and I do understand too the business part of it, and that's really cool. But I feel like that's what would turn me off if I were signing autographs. Nobody's ever asked me for my autograph yet, so we'll see if that happens down the line. But I guess that would just because then when you're signing it, you kind of know like this guy's going to sell this on eBay or something. It's just kind of like
it does happen.
This doesn't feel like I'm helping make this guy's day. I'm just helping making money. So that's where
that's what AC Green said. That's how AC Green felt. That's how he felt. What you just said.
Yeah. So I can see some people not doing it. And I will say this about memorabilia, like the Walter Payton thing is cool. It almost like has to go through several years. Like I'm really impressed like with a Babe Ruth signed something or Theodore Roosevelt or something, go way back in time That stuff's really impressive to me. But there has to be enough time that has passed. And of course, when you're getting the autograph, you have to do it at the time. So, it's just kind of interesting how interesting that stuff is to each of us. But anyways, Nick's going out to try to get an autograph here from one of the Orioles players. He went up to Kansas City, so that's why we brought it up. I just think it's funny to kind of think of Nick battling the other children as a college age kid trying to get an autograph. So I think that'll be kind of funny. I wanted to get to this. Gabe Ervin. There's a nice little article written by Brian Christopherson of 24/7 saying that Gabe Ervin, of course, who got injured against Oklahoma last year, was able to, because of the injury, able to redshirt. So he'll still be a freshman here, but he appears to be at full strength and ready to go after rehabbing his knee. He seems to be a forgotten running back in the rotation, but not the most forgotten running back. I think that award goes to Marquise Stepp, who I think most Husker fans, or like a lot of Husker fans, would completely forget he's on the roster just because he hasn't get as much hype as some of these other running backs. Between Anthony Grant, Jaquez Yant, Ramir Johnson, who seems to, at least in our minds, have fallen kind of behind Grant and Yant, and maybe is kind of when you hear from Sips saying might play a little bit in the slot, like he's going to be used as more of a utility player than just an every down running back. And we'll kind of see how that turns out. But with Gabe Ervin, I mean, that was a guy that was healthy when he was healthy, beat these guys out last year, other than Anthony Grant, obviously, who wasn't here, and did that as a true freshman. So, sometimes you worry about the getting back from injury. Are you going to ever be 100% again? For what it's worth, in the article, Ervin said, it feels better than it ever did. It feels better than it did before. But what do you kind of expect out of Gabe Ervin this year as we sit here in June? As a guy that can kind of compete for that running back spot, also just the running backs in totality. Sometimes it's interesting to kind of get along the thought process of, okay, Mark Whipple, Casey Thompson, these guys here were brought here to sling the rock. At the same time, you hear about the reports through, spring, and you just see the depth that they have at running back. To me, it just comes down to what the offensive line is more efficient at, is running or passing, run blocking or pass protection. But how much do you kind of see this running back room rotating? Who do you think there's a lead dog? How do you kind of see it going this year at the ground attack?
Well, that's the thing that I view. I know you talked about the names. You've said them. I mean, Anthony Grant, Ramir Johnson, Jaquez Yant. But another new face in that room is also Brian Applewhite, right? So when Gabe Ervin was last here, there was another face that he was able to perform in front of that helped him to move up and make sure that he found a slot in his role. And that was a 1-2-3 type of setup. But if you listen to Brian Applewhite, he says that if only I had one bell cow at the University of Nebraska, I didn't do two things, because I didn't do a good enough job recruiting and I didn't do a good enough job developing them. He said, we've got to have at least three. And I favor that too. I think it should be a nice little rotation, and you can find that early on, but I'll talk about that in a second. He says it can't be a 1-2-3. It's going to be an or, because it has to be a 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. And that he feels all of them are one, and that he's done a good job. That's what he said. And so with him looking at that bodes well for someone like Gabe Ervin. I love his confidence. I love that he's coming back with confidence. He's gained. He's put on some pounds. Before he went out, he had carried 37 times for 133 yards. He was starting to make his presence felt. He was feeling good about everything. But then I remember back, Bach. I remember back to the old Husker units. And I'm talking about, I'm not going to go all the way back. I'm talking about just in the 90s when I was around. And then you had Lawrence Phillips, right? Lawrence Phillips was the bell cow. Let's be real about that, right? Obviously, he had some off-field type situations that happened. Rest in peace, Lawrence Phillips. If you knew him, you knew he was really a great guy. He really was a product of the circumstance and the situations of which he had to deal with. He really was part of that. Yes, that's not to take away from anything that he did off the field. That's still all of us that must be accountable to those things. But nonetheless, when he fell into trouble, let's be real. Everyone, when they ran that ball back then, I'm talking about Lawrence Phillips, you had local talent, Damon Benning, Clinton Childs, and then came a young Ahman Green. that were all Nebraska kids. And but what you noticed about all of them is that when they ran that ball, each of them ran it with such reckless abandon, with fervor, with grit, and they acted like that was going to be their last carry, but they were running with such a passion that they were looking to get more carries. That was the way of the field. They all knew Lawrence Phillips was the guy. Everybody knew he was, even Amon Green. But Amon Green stepped up freshman, but none of them had egos. That's what Brian Applewhite's challenge is going to be, is that he's got to keep their egos down and help them to understand that it's all about the collective cause of getting the job done. Do your job, when your opportunity presents itself, because you all are going to get opportunities. But I think it's going to be between those guys you just mentioned. But let's not also take away from the fact that AJ Allen, John Allen's coming, and also Emmett Johnson out of Minnesota. So I personally feel that there's going to be a 4, but I also think that there's going to be a couple that jump in that transfer portal. And I don't know about the summer, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be maybe late summer in the fall when things start to look on that depth chart, and then they're not finding their names on it. I probably think there'll be a couple of, they've got a treasure trove of running backs that could probably get the job done right now.
Yeah, it's not a bad problem to have in this case. If a few guys do enter the transfer portal, those guys would be at the bottom of the depth chart. It might be a guy that's second or third and thinks he should be first, so that could be a loss. But that's a good problem to have. Is too much depth there. I guess to me it could be a problem because obviously with Mark Whipple, we could see, things kind of change. But I feel like part of the problem with Scott Frost in the first few years is not getting players in rhythm. Part of his offense, especially at UCF and Oregon, was kind of, hey, you don't know where it's coming from. So 1 minute we're gonna, get it to the wing back or the duck R position. 1 minute we're gonna pass out, dump off the tight end, and we're gonna hand off, and we're all gonna do it in a hurry up. You're not going to know where it's coming from, and there is something to that, but it never really got going at Nebraska. And so instead it was like nobody was ever able or rarely able to get into a rhythm. When I look back at a guy like Dedrick Mills, feel like, he probably should have had a few more carries than he did. Because when we saw, especially his final game against Rutgers, he could get it going. And, for a lot of running backs, it is about getting into that rhythm. So while it's great to have, 4 or 5 options, I don't want to see that narrowed down to less than 10 carries per game for your number 1 guy and your second guy gets 8.
I don't think that's going to be the case.
I hope not. I mean,
I think he's gonna. I think what you're saying, you're on point, Bach. Absolutely. I think what you're seeing and what we're gonna see is we're gonna see early on that you'll probably see 1 to 3 guys get some solid carries. You'll see probably in the second quarter maybe another one get maybe 5 carries. And then what you'll see then is going into the third quarter, he'll go to his top 2 guys. If they're hot, he's rolling. If they're not, he's going to trickle down that line and find a guy that's running that ball the way it needs hit. Because here's the difference, right? When we look at those guys, Bach, real quick, all of them have a different type of characteristic to their style of running, right? It may be necessary that they're going to need a power guy. That the holes are not necessarily there, and they're going to have to pound it to open up and make, kind of break down the wall a little bit, right? So then that's when you're going to go probably to a Grant or you'll go to a Yant in those types of situations, right? It may require to hit the edges a little bit quicker. Then you're looking at a Ramir Johnson, maybe Grant, maybe Allen. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to depend on really the style of the defense possibly that they're playing, because some of those holes are going to close fast. You're going to need somebody that's going to hit those holes quick. And I think that's where Grant and guys like Grant and maybe Allen and even Gabe Ervin, or maybe one of those guys that hit holes quicker and get in there, which can get you those 4 to 5 yards of carry, which you need in order to move the change or not get behind on the chains. So also to open up play action opportunities. So I think that's what it's going to come down to, Bach, in that situation. Not necessarily just a numbers rotation. I think it's going to come down to he's going to give that early, and then later he's going to go to kind of situational what's needed. And if they're hot, they're going to roll with them.
Yeah, I hope to see that. I think that, that could be a difference here. For what it's worth, too, Brian Applewhite doesn't have a long list of 1,000-yard backs, so he likes to get guys going, as you mentioned in that article, as he pointed out. So it could be the stable of backs, but at a certain time, too, if you have a Kenneth Walker, if a guy, breaks out to be that guy, then you got a bell cow back.
You got to roll. You got one. You got to roll.
Yeah.
Facts.
So that'll be fascinating to kind of see how that plays out. Have no clue who will be the leading rusher for this year's team, but it will be fun to kind of follow along. Let's take a quick break here on the block, and when we come back, let's break down Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Celtics have a chance to all but luck it up at home tonight. Will they be able to do so? We'll break down that game coming up next here on the block on 93.7 The Ticket.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Bach on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A big opportunity awaits the Celtics tonight at TD Garden. Let's break down Game 4 of the NBA Finals coming up next year. This is On the Block on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Jake Bakoven. He is Eric Strickland, former Celtic. So it's always fun to talk about the Celtics and their chance. Do you ever have close to signing with the Warriors or any chance of playing there?
Not at all, Bach. I told you the closest thing I had to dealing with the Warriors was my animosity towards them because Eric Musselman was was one of the assistant coaches.
I forgot Eric.
That was
Musselman.
the closest. So I wanted no part of Golden State because he was there at that point. But no, we ended up being okay afterwards, and we talked a few times after that. Yeah.
Well, that's fair enough, I suppose. But in any case, the Celtics have an opportunity to take the 3-1 lead. It would be a very commanding 3-1 lead with obviously 3 games left to finish it off and still another game to be played on their home court. But I don't know if I'm predicting it. It's not so much a flow of the series, but just kind of how the playoffs have gone so far is that the Celtics have not necessarily protected home court all that well. And neither team, to include the Warriors, have lost twice in the playoffs so far. So if the Celtics are going to win tonight, it's going to have to kind of break those tendencies that have been going on all playoff long. Do you have a better feel for the Celtics to break through and get that win tonight?
Well, it's important for the Celtics to maintain home court advantage. The reason being is that the Warriors have been there. You don't want to give them any type of leverage in the Bay Area going into a Game 7. I don't even care what Steph Curry's ankle looks like or feels like right now. In a Game 7 out there, any one of those guys are capable, to include Draymond Green, from having a spectacular game. So to Boston, I would advise you, do not give up the home court advantage. From this point on, you must maintain and take care of business at home. I don't care if they go back and blow you out, but when you come back in game 6, you got to win tonight. Now, so we talked about, is this a must win for Golden State? I say no. It's a must win for Boston, because Boston does not want a game 7, and they've had success in game 7s as of late. But I tell you what, against that and the Splash Brothers and that championship pedigree, yes, we've got championship history, but none of you have experienced that.
Right.
So you see it, but you have not experienced that. They have, and I would not want this going back home. I would want that in TD Garden. I think that's still the name. You know, these arenas change names so much these days. I don't be knowing which one is what. But I'll tell you this. These cats better come with major energy. They better not allow them I'm talking about Boston. They better not allow them in that third quarter to get out in any kind of way. Yes, they've won the fourth quarters, but they want to stay close. You let them make their runs that they're going to make in the third quarter, but you got to stay within 10 to 12 to 14 in order to make sure that you don't have too far to try to come back in a game. You don't want them to run out to 18 to 20, and you're in trouble at that point. So it's a must win for Boston for me.
Yeah,
and I like what they've done, but there's other things to talk about, because I like the adjustments that they've made in the last game that's helped them to kind of do what they did in the last game. But go ahead.
I was just going to ask, because it always changes based on the latest game. Then everybody feels like that's the best team. But that's kind of the narrative now, is that that Boston has the better team, and the Warriors are going to have to overcome that, and they've got the shooters to do it. But do you see that too? Is it just kind of the depth of Boston that makes them the better team?
That's what we talked about, and that's the way I feel. I felt that they had better depth, and they can do more things with the player combinations that they have. You know, they can throw different types of players, and we're finding that Williams III, the big fella, Robert Williams III is making a huge impact. Only had 8 points. The impact for him is not in the scoring department. Take what you will, that's cherry on the top for him. 10 rebounds, handling business in there, but also 4 block shots. That means they're not coming in the paint just thinking it's sweet, and they can just do whatever they want, the little funk rolls, the little sweet rolls. And we saw Jaylen Brown lose Klay Thompson on a backdoor cut. That's the type of energy. If they maintain that, it's going to make it difficult, because let's be real. Steph Curry right now is shooting phenomenally. He's averaging 31 points a game. He's made 18 of 37 threes. That's almost 50%, my boy. That's 50%.
And those are all pretty darn contested. Like the defense is doing everything to stop him from scoring.
So you're looking at that, right? Almost 50, but now he's got an ankle situation. But here's the adjustment that they made, and this is what Stricky talked about early on before the series even popped off. Every time they switch, I don't care who it is, Steph Curry to Horford, Steph Curry to Marcus Smart, Steph Curry to even White, I don't care. Whoever they switch him to, they need to punish him and go at him. Now that he's got an ankle issue now too, I'm all the way at you. You know, now I'm putting you in the block. I'm trying to post you up because I'm creating shooting opportunities, open lanes, by putting that strain on them in that position. So that's what they've done. They made the adjustments, and we saw the effects of that in game 3.
Yeah, and I mean, it's very intriguing too. You think a 7-game series, if it does last that long, or at least you're getting into game 4 here. The whole idea is that the Warriors need to help Steph, because Steph's going to be there.
Right.
There is a chance with that ankle, like you said, or just in general. We've seen Ray Allen or Reggie Miller have off days shooting in the finals. We've seen Steph have off days shooting in the finals. Never won a finals MVP. Has struggled that time in the finals. If they have an off night from him, I think it's just blowout city. I don't think they have an opportunity. I mean, even if Klay steps up and Jordan Poole steps up, they need kind of that all three of them to really get rolling. I think to punch out this Boston team, and they've done it before, and we could see it again. But I just don't know if you're going to have, especially now with his ankle, as great a performance as you've seen from Steph. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's on a heater right now, and that lack of that NBA Finals MVP trophy is what's bothering him. But I think that's something that we take for granted and just expect out of him and every time. And he's one of the top players in the game, and that's kind of the step that a lot of people want to see from Jason Tatum, because he has a stinker here and there as far as shooting goes.
Yeah.
But
he's got help.
Yeah. Oh, he's got a lot of help. And he's now developed into, a few years ago, even last year wasn't the case, where if he had a bad shooting night, it was just, we're getting nothing out of Tatum. Now he's at least drawing folks and getting assists, and he's long enough to get rebounds and get on the defensive end that he can still positively impact the game.
Where their issue is coming, and this is what they need more. You're only getting just about 7 rebounds from Draymond Green. Draymond needs to be up close to 10 for him to be effective. Yes, he plays great defense. He sets screens, but shooting only 26% from the field and really 0% from the three, 50% from the free throw line. So he's a liability all across the board in so many areas. His assists are up there. He's the best assist guy they got. So I think if his assist numbers remain from 5 to 7, he gets up anywhere into that 5. Now he's helping in some form or fashion. But 2 points in the last game is not going to do it. Jordan Poole, inconsistency. Wiggins, understandably, with the defensive stuff that he's been having to do against some really good players on the Boston side, understandably. But the main one that really needs to up his ante a little bit is Klay Thompson. And can he give you that? How do you feel about that, Bach? Do you think Klay Thompson, after the hiatus and the time off, after the injuries, do you think he's capable now, late in the series, after just coming back this year, of giving you, the old Klay Thompson this late in the series with all eyes on him, i.e., my guy Tupac?
Yeah, there you go. I think that he's capable. I think it's just probably going to happen less often, right? I mean, he's probably going to get hot less often, and he's a little less effective. I mean, at one time, this guy was like an all NBA defensive guy. Obviously, that's taken a step with the injuries, a step back. But as far as the shooting, at least he was going off in Game 3. It's the same thing. Anytime the Warriors get an offensive rebound, and I mean, he's really good at getting open off of those. So you're always worried about that. I mean, I wouldn't count him out. I still probably trust him more than Jordan Poole at this point to be that number 2 guy for the Warriors. So they really need it. And I wouldn't be shocked to see it a few more times in the series, but I don't think it's a night in, night out type of thing anymore with Klay, where you expect him to be, the super. What do they call the super shooting brothers or whatever? I don't know if I think maybe just the injuries have piled up and it's kind of tough to do that. But I mean, he was a guy that could impact the game so much just with spacing and his movement without the ball. Seems to be a little bit slower getting into that sort of stuff right now. Maybe it can return as he's just returning from injury, but probably not this season.
Yeah, and that's what I see too, and that's where I think the problem. If watch early on what the energy levels are for Boston. If they have a high energy level similar to what they had last night, I think it bodes well for them. I think if they come out lethargic, lackluster, any type of just no energy and scrappiness, then I think they're ripe for picking of getting clipped for this game.
What do you think about TD Garden going off? Obviously, the bleep you, Draymond chants were going. Klay said, "Real classy, Boston." Yeah, you think there's a chance of some bleep you, Klay, in response to that?
Yeah. Boston Celtics are every bit like that old Antlers of Missouri. Every bit like that. Yeah. Boston is not. They read papers. They and try to figure out how they can get up under your skin. Oh yeah,
I see. We've already seen Kyrie Irving flip off the crowd there at the Boston Garden. So the fans have done their job as much as they can in this playoff run. to kind of get them there. For what it's worth, too, I want to mention this because I'm going to take a short break here, too, from the ticket for a few weeks, but I'll be right back. Don't worry, I'll be back. But it might not be in time for the Celtics to win the series. And if they do, they'll regain that lead over the Lakers with all-time championships, and they'll be at 18. Right now it's tied. Each of them have 17. And I just feel like saying this because I know Lakers fans will bite back. Yeah, we're going to get you eventually. That's what makes this so special is that Celtics are not a free agent destination. You kind of understand a lot of those championships in the Bill Russell years and all that. And the Lakers have over generations and decades been jumping up and catching almost time to catch up to Boston. And they did with that Mickey Mouse championship. But that's what's going to make this one especially sweet for me is at least for just a short time longer, maybe a little bit longer because of that. The Lakers are in a bit of a rut themselves. The Celtics can remain on top and not be passed up by the Lakers. I have no doubt in my lifetime it'll eventually happen because the Lakers are the free agency destination.
Whoa. I beg to differ.
You do?
I'm willing to say, yes, I would say in normal part of the discussion, I would venture to say that. But I venture to say that Boston has more of an opportunity over the next year to 5 years to win championships than the Lakers do.
Yeah.
I genuinely mean that. Yeah. I genuinely mean that. I think the West right now is a major threat to any opportunity for them to come out of the doldrums. And no one right now wants to go there. They're good. You're hearing this on the block. I could be wrong. But I'm going to still throw it out there because we likes to keep it real on the block party. I venture to say that we don't see a turnaround for the Lakers for the next 7 to 10 years. Oof. I think they're in that much trouble.
To be fair, other than the Mickey Mouse championship, it's been that long since they, competitively, like consistently were competitive. So I hope you're right as somebody that hates the Lakers.
So.
Yeah,
I think so. I think they're in trouble.
Yeah.
From top to bottom, Bach. I think it's from the organization top all the way through. I think they're needing a revamping all the way through.
Yeah. I hope so, and I hope the Celtics can add a few more. What's interesting too, I say they're not a free agency destination. They win this title here. Maybe the Bradley Beals or some of the other guys would be interested in joining and really starting to make a run at a few more championships. So we'll take a quick break here on the block. When we come back, it's time for Shootout with Strick. Your chance to win $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Strick, I'll give you a little hint to everybody out there. 2001 Huskers, their home states. We did this the other day with the current Huskers. I went back to a random year, 2001. Seemed like a good enough year to me. So they're some of the home states of those Huskers on the 2001 squad. Give us a call, 402-464-5685 on the Honda of Lincoln hotline. First person to do so will have a chance at $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings if you beat Strick in the shootout. That's next here on the block.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
My computer was a dinosaur, and our TV, well, let's just say it was definitely time for an upgrade. But finding a way wasn't so simple. And then I found it, a research study at Solarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. I earned cash for the study and was able to make those much-needed upgrades. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at helpresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your Nebraska-owned premier John Deere dealership. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Hey, it's Brad Banks of the Nebraska football team.
And Nuri Newely.
Join us this week for Sunday morning pancakes at Lincoln's Pub at 48th and Layton.
Check out the newest brunch in town and bring your friends.
That's this Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Sunday morning pancakes at Lincoln's Pub at 48th and Layton.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Joined by Sam Cook, 39 years old from Seward, Jake. Played 16 seasons with Baltimore. Why do you think it worked so well for you in Baltimore?
With success of our special teams over the 16-year career, never left the field without feeling like I got something out of it each day. I always try to find a way to make sure I got each day got better.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money. But like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey guys, it's Jake Sorensen. Meat is the absolute best Father's Day gift ever. And here's a little gift-giving wisdom from Omaha Steaks. Dads do indeed want steaks. And with Father's Day around the corner, there is not a better gift than Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com and type Jake in the search bar and order the Dads Want Steaks package. For just $99, this limited time package includes 16 mouth-watering entrees he's guaranteed to love, like smoky, tender bacon wrap filet mignons, gourmet jumbo franks, and their air-chilled boneless chicken breast. And for a sweet finish, delicious caramel apple tartlets. As a special gift, my listeners, when you type Jake in the search bar and order the Dads Want Steaks package, you'll also get 8 free Omaha Steaks burgers. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com and type Jake into the search bar and order the Dads Want Steaks package. You'll get 16 entrees and 4 desserts plus 8 free Omaha Steaks burgers. That's omahasteaks.com. Keyword Jake.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game!
It's all about Shootout with Strick here on 93.7 The Ticket and on the block. It is your chance to win $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. We have Elliot on the text line here, 402-464-5685. Well, it is the Start Heyman text line. Also the Honda of Lincoln hotline, which he is on here, ready to go. Elliot, do you know too much about the 2001 Huskers?
2001 Huskers? No clue.
No clue. Well, you still have a pretty good chance because these are pretty random questions to begin with. Just the home states of the 2001 Huskers. So either or will just about do it for you, and Strick will have the same opportunity. So just hang on for a minute there, Elliot, and we'll give you a shot. But first, we got to know what Strick's total is, so we know what Elliot has to get to. Strick, are you ready to roll?
Let's go.
All right, there we go. Make sure I turn that down. All right, in 3, 2, and 1. Defensive back Keo Craver, where is he from? Texas or Louisiana?
Texas.
That is correct. How about I-back Josh Davis, Missouri or Colorado?
Colorado.
That is correct. How about offensive lineman Tony Finotti, Hawaii or California?
California.
It is actually Hawaii. How about defensive end Des Moines Adams, Arkansas or Alabama?
Arkansas.
It is Arkansas. And who won the Big 12 North in 2001?
Texas.
It was actually Colorado who beat Nebraska there at the end of the season. Tough loss for Nebraska, but 3 total points there for you, Strick. Pretty good start, and you've had a pretty good week. Have you lost yet this week?
Yesterday, I think, right?
Oh, yesterday at the buzzer, you did. Yeah, I was trying to think if you had we're going for a clean sweep, but not the case. So we'll go over to Elliot. Elliot, all you need is 3 points here to tie, and then we'll get to the tie breaker. 4 points get you the win, okay?
Okay.
All right, we'll go in 3, 2, and 1. What was the home state of Husker defensive back DeJuan Gross, Ohio or Kansas?
Ohio.
That is correct. What was the home state of safety Willie Amos, Texas or California? It was Texas. What was the home state of tight end Tracy Wistrom, Kansas or Missouri?
Missouri.
That is correct as well. What was the home state of defensive end Bernard Thomas, California or Texas?
California.
That is correct as well. And who won the Big 12 South in 2001?
Texas.
It was Texas, actually. I don't know if you get it at the buzzer. It doesn't really matter, though, because you already have enough points to beat Strick because he didn't miss a question.
Wait now. He was going way too slow. He had to have the Google machine working for him or something because he was going way. Oh, okay. I knew it was something. I knew I wasn't fighting one person on this one. I knew I had something fighting on this.
What's that? Sounds like you. We usually give the opportunity to talk trash. What do you say, Ellen? You want to talk trash or take the high road?
I'm gonna talk trash.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, I got you. One thing, it's strict, and me play 1-on-1. He wouldn't even score a point. If I caught him in the paint, I would dunk on him. Now I would break his ankles, and I would step back, and I would shoot the three. Now, man, he'd be on the floor. He'd be crying.
There we go. There's the trash.
Oh, that was the best one ever.
We've had.
Oh,
so, yeah, you don't want to run up against him on the court
He's
there.
been playing a lot of 2K in his mind.
You're not even going to score a point, he said there. So, well, there we go. There you have it. Elliot, congratulations on the win here. We got to get your shout-outs here, and then we'll get you somebody to get in line and get your chicken ready for you over there.
Hell yeah. I said, give me a hell yeah.
So there we go. Thank you for calling in, Elliot and Elliot's dad. Get the win and $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings and a little bit of trash talk there. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, there he goes. Yeah, Strick, I guess that's what happens when we ask him to trash talk. Yeah, somebody will take the advantage of it. It rarely happens, but there we go.
Listen, I can appreciate that one. That made my day. Even if I get delayed for an hour on this next trip, I can laugh just thinking about that segment right there. That was a good one. I love every bit of that one.
Yeah. And it is, I think we're going to let you go for this upcoming hour so you can get your travel day and getting going. Unfortunately, this will be the end of your time and my time here for a few weeks. I'm off for
I got Nate Doggy Dog.
You got Nate Doggy Dog.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
He might not be in a good mood. His Virginia Tech Hokies, last time I checked, were losing. So they got this 3-game series to get to the College World Series. And they were losing last time I checked in the first game. You know, you have to lose 2 out of the 3. So you might get a bit of a testy Nate coming into next week.
Oh, testy Nate. Safe travels, Bach. Enjoy, man. And I'll do the same. We'll look forward to seeing you when we get back.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun, and yeah, right back at you. Safe travels as you get back in studio and reset things from there. And I'll ask how you did on Shootout with Strick when I return. I'll kind of follow along and see how it goes.
Hey, we just got to make sure my stuff. He knows where my stuff is, so when I get my victories, he knows where they're at.
That's right. We need to hit the right buttons to get you rolling. All right, Strick. That'll wrap it up for Strick's time here today on the block. When we return, I think Steve Sipple set to join me. I did an hour with him, or actually 2 hours today on early break. He said he would return the favor. So he's going to jump in with me in studio. We'll talk a little bit about a few different things. Tiger joins LeBron and MJ in the Billionaire Club, the third athlete to do so. So that's a quite impressive deal there. It maybe explains why he is turning down the Live Golf Invitational, though not all golfers are. Bryson DeChambeau, the latest to officially sign with the Live Golf Invitational Series, which is banning them from the PGA Tour as of right now. So that's very interesting. Also, I wanted to ask, which is the more difficult question to answer? Who will lead the Huskers in receiving, or who will lead the Huskers in rushing? It's like throwing darts at a dartboard, and that's good. I mean, there's plenty of depth in both cases. So that's what we will deal with next and what we will run down next. Also, 12 years ago today, the Big 12 blew up with the departure of Colorado and Nebraska. So we'll kind of look back on that as it is getting close to that anniversary season. We'll do all that next. Once again, thank you to Strick as he has his travel day, and he'll be with you back next week But for now, we'll take a quick break and be back on the block with Steve Sipple and myself coming up next on the block on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, batter, 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 wings, splatter, splatter, splatter. Catch all this season's baseball action at one of your neighborhood Lincoln locations. Get League of Their Own wings, burgers, nachos, and ringers while catching all the action. Stop into Wings and Rings located on O Street in Meridian Park and 40th and Old Cheney in Williamsburg Village. Or place your order online at wingsandrings.com. That's wingsandrings.com. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Hey, sports fans. Rico here with HIS Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. Carfax recently awarded us as a top-rated auto service. Hey, sports fans. Rico here with HIS Auto Care.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Come see Lincoln's best lineup on and off the diamond all season long. The best seat in town, the best block party, the best outdoor bar, your best night ever. Join the Salt Dogs for Nebraska Medical Association and Lancaster County Medical Society Triple Play Tuesdays, Fairbury Brand Winter Wednesdays, Thirsty Thursdays, Fireworks Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, and Sunday Family Fun Days brought to you by Casey's. Hit a home run with your next trip to Haymarket Park. Buy tickets at saltdogs.com.
Hey guys, it's Jake Sorensen. Meat is the absolute best Father's Day gift ever. And here's a little gift-giving wisdom from Omaha Steaks. Dads do indeed want steaks. And with Father's Day around the corner, there is not a better gift than Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com and type Jake in the search bar and order the Dads Want Steaks package. For just $99, this limited time package includes 16 mouth-watering entrees he's guaranteed to love. Hey guys, it's Jake Sorensen.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Work, laundry, dishes. I was exhausted. I needed a vacation, but finding a way to pay for it, not so easy. Then I found it, a research study at Solarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. It was so easy. I earned cash for the study and booked that vacation. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at healthresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
They say one great thing leads to another. And that's especially true when you visit a Great Clips salon. When you sit down for a haircut with the skilled and friendly stylist at one of our thousands of convenient Great Clips locations, they'll not only make your hair look great, they'll make you feel great too. And that's something you can't help but share with the world. Download our online check-in app today and opt in to get a Ready Next text when you're up next. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Come see Lincoln's best lineup on and off the diamond all season long. The best seat in town, the best block party, the best outdoor bar, your best night ever. Join the Salt Dogs for Nebraska Medical Association and Lancaster County Medical Society Triple Play Tuesdays, Fairbury Brand Winter Wednesdays, Thirsty Thursdays, Fireworks Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, and Sunday Family Fun Days brought to you by Casey's. Hit a home run with your next trip to Haymarket Park. Buy tickets at saltdogs.com.
WWE returns with the Lincoln debut of Monday Night Raw, June 20th at Pinnacle Bank Arena. You'll see the return of the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. He'll go one-on-one with Seth freaking Rollins.
You're on.
Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair,
WEST.
Randy Orton and Rick,
RK Bro.
Becky Lynch, and more. Tickets start at $20. Get yours now at Ticketmaster.
This is On the Block with Strick and Bach. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
93.7 The Ticket veteran and Ortega connoisseur, Jake Bakoven.
I like Ortega and I like pepper.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Strick and Bach.
Hold up.
This is On the Block here on a Friday, and it is not a replay of early break, though it might sound like it, because this morning I woke up and did some nice radio, some nice back and forth with Sip, and now he is he's returning the favor. Steve Sipple of On 3 now joining us, and of course, of early break here on 93.7 The Ticket, joining us for the final hour of On the Block. How's your day been since this morning?
That's
Sip?
what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, oh, darn it. I beat you to
it. Well, you've had a more eventful day than me. I have not had an eventful day. I had an interview with a professor who does a podcast.
Oh, nice.
That was the highlight of my day, probably. I did a little workout. I thought I was going to be able to take a shower before I came in here, but Trixie was occupying the shower area.
Oh, yeah.
So I just kind of toweled off and came in.
What do you do for a workout? Do the old punching bag still?
No, I guess I don't mind telling you. I do a little odd workout. There's a hill. I'm not going to say where.
Right. Yeah. You don't want people spying on your hill.
No, I run up and down a hill. I have a push-up bar. I do a lot of push-ups, do a lot of sit-ups. And it's pretty basic. I try to keep it to 45 minutes.
Oh yeah. Well, that's how often do you do it?
At least 4 times a week.
Wow, you are really into working out. Have you been doing this for a long time?
Yeah, I'd say 2 years.
Oh wow,
2 years. Yeah, I tried to ramp it up during the pandemic and just stay with it. I want to keep my weight at a kind of a minimum.
Yeah,
that's that.
That's really good and healthy for you. I wish that I had the drive to work out. I seemingly, whenever I go to the gym, I just look at the basketball court and I go, I'm just gonna play basketball.
Yeah, basketball's good.
Yeah, it's a workout. It's it's good to cut some carbs, but it's not necessarily defining or muscle building or anything like that.
Yeah,
fine.
I'm not. You know what? It's not about that for me. It's a lot of it is mental health. I just feel better after a workout. And that's the way it's sort of always been. So that's what I'm not, there's no vanity reasons. I'm not training for anything.
Curls for the girls.
No, I just find that I feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it helps with your your mental state as far as eating. If you routinely work out or you work out that day, you try to eat healthier just because you don't want to defeat the purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or there's a time where Tim Newman was the form. Yeah, I know. I talk about guys that are foreign to you. Tim Newman was the wrestling coach here for a long time, and his thing was simple. If you work out, you can eat whatever you want.
Yeah,
for the most part. He was talking about training. As a wrestling coach, he would almost train like a wrestler. I don't think I can eat whatever I want.
Yeah.
But those guys, Tim could, and that's why he worked out 7 days a week.
Yeah. When a lot of those guys trying to make weight, they'll eat a bunch of way more calories than they need to.
Yeah. It just depends on the guy. But like a wrestling coach at Nebraska, basically like Mark Manning, basically trains for a living. And I suppose when you're doing that, you can eat about whatever you want. But that was my day. It was sort of boring. You know what, Bach? I went to buy some shoes. I'm so picky that some tennis shoes, just running shoes. I couldn't find any that I liked.
You
Just
didn't
total waste of an
you,
hour.
You don't. You didn't come
I'm
up with
really
any
picky.
shoes?
Yeah, I'm really picky.
Did you try some on or
no? I didn't even try any on. I'm not gonna say where I was.
Yeah.
I don't want to say where I was.
Oh yeah.
I'm
you don't
finding it
disparage them.
harder and harder, and I think I got to go on web. I think I got to go on the internet.
You don't have like a size 15 foot, do you, or
No, I
anything
got
that makes
10.
it hard?
No,
Yeah.
10.
You just don't like the styles or the feel.
I'm really picky.
Yeah.
Picky food, picky shoes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I used to really be, I wouldn't ever say that I was a sneakerhead, but, you know, I used to like to get a nice pair of shoes. Later in life, now that I'm a little bit older, I'll just buy whatever $20 pair of shoes I can have. It'll wear out like generally, but so do the more expensive shoes.
You got more,
pretty quickly.
You got more expenses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happened, really.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I was talking to one of my grandkids. I hadn't went and purchased shoes for like 3 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
now I did the other day. No, I did the other day. I went to Dick's Sports.
Dick's, yeah.
Dick's Sports. And I did find a pair there, but I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go get another pair. Not at Dick's. I went to another place. I'm not gonna give up the place I went to. I just couldn't find anything I liked.
Yeah.
Today. I'll find something this weekend though.
Is it the styles were too what?
I'm like I said, I'm really particular.
Yeah.
So I just didn't see anything that I thought would go with jeans.
Yeah.
It's that's part of it. I have a certain style in mind I always want, and I just didn't see it.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. At least that's good to be picky, I think. Yeah.
Okay, what's some sports to talk about?
Well, as you may have noticed, there's no large breaking news for the Husker sports department today. But I did find this kind of interesting. It's just almost like pairing a question against a question. Which is the most difficult question for you to answer is what I'm asking you. Who leads Nebraska in rushing or who leads Nebraska in receiving this upcoming season?
Rushing.
Yeah.
I heard you and Strick talking too about the running back room. You guys, that was a good discussion. I would say definitely the running backs because I think Trey Palmer is the answer at receiver.
Yeah. Pretty clear or
I'd say pretty clear.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't say that without some degree of information because I talked to them both this week. Had a sit down with Casey Thompson, had a sit down with Trey Palmer. There's really good chemistry there. And then I go back to Mark Whipple. Oh, Bach, it must have been, I don't know exactly what month, maybe February. They had the coaches, not convention, coaches, a coaches association like seminar, and Eric Chenander presented and Whipple presented. And Whipple's big thing was this. Okay, he showed about 35 different ways he could get Jordan Addison the ball. He likes to identify, or we'll call it a star receiver, and get the ball in the hands of your best guy. Well, I think right now they've identified Trey Palmer as their best guy. And I think I'm not saying he'll put up Jordan Addison numbers and catch 100 passes.
Right.
Jordan Addison caught 100 passes last season. But I think they'll try to get the ball to Palmer as much as they can.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what Whipple does too. Andy Isabella, when he was at UMass, led the nation. Andy Isabella, he actually got drafted by the Cardinals, my team. Didn't work out so far in the league, but
that's his modus operandi, though. Whipple.
Yeah.
If they have that guy now, I guess the question is Palmer really that guy?
Yeah.
I think they'll try to make him that guy. But we'll just have to see how that works.
Because too, what I understand from Whipple too is at least when he's saying it, and maybe not going through his numbers as much, is that whether that guy's a receiver, a tight end, he identifies the best player and gets the best player the ball as much as he can. That's and that's the way that I'd like to see it. Right? If you're going to lose with your best player taking the shot in basketball's case, but in football, getting the majority of the carries or the receptions or targets or whatever. So I'm interested to see. And I'm going to look a little bit more into it if, he does have those years where he loads up on a running back or, because he's had tight ends involved a little more.
Yeah. It's hard to predict right now. Right.
Yeah.
And it's also, I mean, I would like to think that if they get that running game, the traditional running game going with the running backs, that they'll lean hard on it. I would like to think, I mean, Whipple has that NFL background. He knows the importance of being able to run the ball. If they have a line that is a good run blocking line and they establish that, I would hope they go with that. But I think as you guys, I heard you and Eric talking, that ball could get spread around among those running backs.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be interested to see if anybody emerges, kind of breaks off from the pack. I don't know if they have one capable of doing that or not. They might.
Do you think that that's that they could get into some trouble with that? Do you think that that's been a problem with Frost so far at times? Is his offense, especially at Oregon and UCF, was kind of, well, it was first it was no huddle and fast, and that kind of died off here at Nebraska. But it was also like, hey, you're not going to know what's coming. We're going to give it to the duck R guy, and then we're going to go to the out route, and then we're going to dump off the tight end, and we're going to run a draw, and then we're going to, then the quarterback's going to take it. And so you just didn't know who it was coming from, and it just hasn't worked as well at Nebraska, and at times I think to the detriment of not getting a guy heated up in the running back position.
Oh yeah, I mean they got Ozigbo heated up.
Yeah,
in the first year, he averaged 7 a carry and got 1,000 yards that year. He got heated up, but since then, no, not really. Now here's what I think has happened a lot, Bach. It's not just that people have caught up with Frost's spread; people have just caught up with the spread.
Yeah,
I mean it's just
Chip Kelly's had a tough time getting going.
Tougher time.
Yeah.
Frost. Yeah, I mean, I think defense has adjusted to that style across the board. I mean, you would no longer really say that Scott has a cutting edge offense.
No,
you did when he came here.
Yeah,
I mean, but those gaps can close that quickly, and defensive coordinators close the gap and pretty much shut it off. So now it's about adjusting. I do think they have the personnel to adjust, but Bach, what I wonder and what I'm sort of kind of transfixed by is this notion that look at the running back group. You guys were talking about it. I heard what you said. It does look like a good group. Eric said there was a treasure trove of talent, and then couple that with the hire of Donovan Raiola, and that just seems to suggest a strong running game. And if it is, will they stick with it? That's the question, right?
Yeah.
Will Frost? Well, but the question isn't as much anymore. Will Frost stick with it? It's will Whipple stick with it? Because Whipple will call the plays. So yeah, there's a lot of unknowns, but it's all very intriguing.
Yeah, as far as who would lead the running back room, obviously Gabe Ervin, Brian Christopherson wrote a great article about him kind of getting back into it and feeling like he's brand new. Do you think that he gets kind of forgotten in this group a little bit? I mean, he's a guy that beat out 3 of the guys that we're talking about competing in that room last year.
Yeah, he definitely gets forgotten. I was talking to Marquise Buford earlier this week. And Buford said, we were talking about the running game in a running back room. And I just took for granted sort of that Ramir Johnson was the fastest of those running backs. And Buford said, it's very close between Ramir Johnson and Gabe Ervin. Now think about Gabe Ervin. He's their fastest guy at 6'2", 210. I mean, that's a good, I do believe they have a better running back group than they have had under Frost. It'll be the best they've had since Frost has been here, is a better way to put it.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it just feels like there's so many options back there.
It does.
That somebody's going to break out. And they're all like, it's not like unproven, other than Anthony Grant, I suppose, at this level. But I mean, he's coming in very highly regarded. But all of it's like, okay, we've seen flashes here from these guys. Mm-hmm. And as they grow older and get more prepared for it, it seems like, at least one or maybe all of them, hopefully. But, a few of them will develop into those guys.
Yeah, if Ramir Johnson takes the next step, I like what that would look like. Yant has to take the next step. I mean, he has to get better. But if I think you would agree, there's great potential there.
Yeah.
Especially if he's in shape. And Bach, I saw him, he's in shape. I mean, that is a specimen. It's very intriguing. So yeah, we'll just see how it shakes out.
Yeah, and then I think at worst, the best part of that is that at worst, Ramir Johnson just didn't even get any better. from last year. As long as he didn't get banged up or anything, he was pretty solid last year. So
he's reliable.
Yeah, so I mean that's almost at worst, you feel like, for the running back room.
Yeah, I bet he gets a little better.
If you do have if you have Trey Palmer circled as your number 1 wide receiver, is Omar Manning number 2?
There's a good question. Let's think this through. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me all that much. And I'm not just talking off the cuff. I mean, I talk to a lot of people. It wouldn't surprise me if in the first game, the top 3 in the rotation were Palmer, Garcia, Castaneda, and Marcus Washington. I don't know. Omar's right in that conversation, though.
Right.
He'll have to compete. But yeah, I think those are the top 4. And Alante Brown is in that conversation. Those are the guys. I think Brody Belt's going to get a lot of balls thrown to his way, maybe. And then the new guys you wonder about. You really wonder about Janire and Bonner. Now, he had a broken leg as a junior in high school. He broke his femur in a car crash. So I think he's come back pretty strong from it. So you want to see that. He just got into town, but they really like Bonner. Now, he just got into town a week and a half ago. So you don't exactly know. Dakotas Crawford.
Right.
You wonder about, you just don't know exactly what you got there. But those are guys I would definitely watch.
You think Oliver Martin's in the chase too?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm remiss not to mention him. I don't think I'd put him in the top 4.
Right.
Perhaps the top 5.
Yeah. It's interesting. I can't wait to see what Brody Belt's role is, because when when you kind of think about it, these both the positions, he can kind of play either position at wide receiver or running back, but they're both stocked. But still, he's like, versatile enough that you would love to use him, and maybe you kind of have him be maybe your primary guy if you're going to have a guy audible out of the backfield and go into the so I think you could see that out of him.
Ramir can do that,
right?
Yeah.
Do you think Gabe Ervin's at all part of a slot opportunity or any of those other running backs other than Ramir?
Nope. I mean, I don't know enough about AJ Allen and Emmett Johnson.
Yeah,
I don't know enough about
freshman
them.
coming in.
Yeah, but no, I don't. I don't see them doing that with, certainly not Yant. I don't see him doing it with Ervin. I do see him doing it with Ramir. And who am I missing? Grant. No, I don't see it.
Yeah,
no.
So that'd be specialty for Ramir and Brody Belt.
I think it's Ramir and Brody Belt that you'd see him motion into the slot, motion out of the slot, motion into the backfield. And both those guys are pretty capable of doing damage. When we're talking, if the line is productive, if it's improved, I think the offense does have a lot of potential.
It's a lot of weapons.
It seems that way.
Versatility,
doesn't it? But it doesn't matter if you can't block.
Right.
So that piece up front has to get better. And I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they're pretty convincing in talking about how well they run block this spring. But as you mentioned this morning, what were you facing?
Right.
A depleted defensive line. So, but I know this, Bach. They feel confident as a coaching staff. Like they feel like now they have the personnel, and now you just got to see if they can put it all together.
Yeah. We had a group of on weeknights. We had a group of Huskers that are going to be kind of starting their own little show as well with the Chancellor Brewington, Noah Pola-Gates, and now the other one's escaping me right now. But in any case, they came in and they were mentioning how it was just kind of a clip that we pulled because we loved it. Is that the team just feels a lot more together right now? It's saying like basically after every team activity, there's guys asking each other, like, what are you doing tonight? It's just like everybody just feels positive energy and movement moving forward. And there's more of a togetherness type of feel from them. So to hear that from the team and then to hear from the coaching staff that they like what they see, I suppose that's summer optimism. I suppose you get that every year.
But definitely. Yeah. The cynics out there will roll their eyes, and I understand that completely. The one thing about this, though, that's most intriguing to me, to add to that, the coaches' backs are to the wall. And that can be a good thing, right? Like most human beings respond pretty well when their backs are to the wall. Not everybody, but most human beings, when it comes down to it, will respond in that situation. And I would think Frost will respond. Well, he has. I mean, he has responded well already. Now the next, there's steps. He put together a good staff. He put together a good team, additions from the transfer portal. Now the next step is probably June and July. And then the next step is preseason camp. And those all have to hit. You have to hit in all those.
Absolutely.
And that's so it's a step by step. And, they've completed some steps in fine fashion, but there are some critical steps remaining. And of course, the big step is autumn. You got to win some games.
And Javin Wright, by the way, is the other play that I
Javin Wright.
Yeah.
Javin Wright, Noah Pola-Gates,
and Chancellor Brewington.
So it's two defenders and an offensive player.
Yeah. So I think that they are going to have a Ticket Weeknight show as well. And of course, we have Brant Banks and Norton Newelly, who are actually going to come in here and do the Hot Wings Challenge here once the end of our show. So stay tuned for that on the Ticket Weeknights. Have you done the Hot Wings Challenge yet?
No, and I wouldn't.
Wouldn't do it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I am 55.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. I'm 55 years old.
I did want to ask this, and I know it's basically just been fodder for the message boards. But do you have? I guess someone wants to know. Do you have any idea of Thomas Fedone, if he'll be available this year?
Yeah, I have an idea. I don't expect him to be.
Okay.
I don't mind saying that publicly. I checked into it this week. I think it would be a similar situation as last year. If he were to work his way back, it would be late in the season in a limited role.
Yeah,
that's what I was told.
Okay. And that's obviously more frustrating for Fedone than anybody. It's been a tough start for a promising kid's career. So
yeah, absolutely.
That is what it is, though, I suppose. What is I asked you who would be the leading rusher, who would be the leading receiver, how hard it would be to guesstimate that. Is there any idea or inclination out there in your mind that there might be a question of who would be the leading passer on this team?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I've been saying it for weeks. I think Casey has to establish himself as the man.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's still work to do there. Chubba Purdy came on, very late in spring. He had 3 padded practices before the spring game, but he was pretty impressive. And I would say the coaching staff wants it to be a battle,
Yeah.
No, I'd say, Casey is the favorite, as everybody, there's no shock there, but I'm not, I just don't, there's a distinction I make that some people don't make, that some people try to sell you that he is the man right now. No, I think he's got to go earn that.
Mm-hmm.
What I always say, the hypothetical is, Bach, if he comes out in August and has 3 or 4 bad practices in a row and Purdy's practicing well, come on. I mean, Casey Thompson hasn't performed in his career at a level where you would look at that and say, well, it's just 4 bad practices. He's 4-6 at Texas. His numbers were good, not great.
Yeah.
So I think he's still got to go earn it.
Yeah.
And I think he's in the process of doing that, but he's got to put the process. It means a lot more in August.
Right.
It does. And of course, then it'll mean all the meanings in September, October, November.
Oh yeah. I mean, I just find that fascinating. My partner on the Ticket Water Cooler, Nathan Brennan, thinks that maybe they would be better off with such a, I mean, the situation is what it is, a year, a pivotal year to win and advance your career, that it might be suitable to kind of jump ahead of it and name Casey your starter and make him your captain, all that stuff, and just get it going and build your offense off of that. But I agree with you. I know he's got more experience, and I'll say this, that he's got the college experience. The other guys don't necessarily have it, and so maybe that's why you would want to go that way. But I still think that. I always go back to the Sam Keller, Joe Gans situation and think, I would just leave it. I mean, if somebody outplays somebody else in fall camp, that's what it's supposed to be there for, is, get the best talent on the field, whoever's playing the best.
Yeah, this becomes a philosophical discussion with no right answer. And I think you have to look at every situation, and I look at it as every situation is unique. And in this particular situation, I don't think it makes any sense to name Casey right now. He just was here in the spring where they're still installing.
Yeah.
There's installation going on. No, he's got to go get it. He's got to go get this job.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. And that's generally what I believe anyway, that Ben Roethlisberger's got to earn, in his prime had to go earn his job. That's the way I look at things. I don't like the idea of handing jobs to people.
Yeah.
There's circumstances where it makes sense.
Yeah. Or like certain
Tom
guys,
Brady makes sense to say, yeah,
they'll skip mandatory training camp or something like that, or try to hold out to get because they know they've got they're standing in the
we're not looking at a situation like that.
Well, right, yeah. Phase of 5 times that chimes in. Evening Sipple sounds more relaxed. Do you think that there's a possibility of that? More relaxed at this time of the day.
Yeah. You know what? Yes.
He's on to something.
Yeah. I do feel more relaxed.
Yeah. Well, you don't have the whole day in front of you that you got to get stuff done.
Yeah.
You're kind of sliding into the weekend, though the weekend's not, sometimes articles and stuff, but
yeah, but I think you nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oftentimes I think a little frazzled coming in. I do feel more relaxed.
Yeah.
Maybe just because I worked out too,
Yeah. That could do it too.
I'm telling you, Bach, that it's critical for my mind.
Well, fair enough. We'll take a quick break here on the block. Once again, Steve Sipple joining me here of Early Break and On 3. Let's get into this next. Tiger joins LeBron and Michael Jordan in the Billionaire Club. So that's 3 athletes all together in the Billionaire Club. 2 as of recent. We'll break down a little bit how much you had to spend per day to spend $1 billion. So we'll do that next year on the block.
Work, laundry, dishes. I was exhausted. I needed a vacation, but finding a way to pay for it, not so easy. Then I found it. A research study at Solarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. It was so easy. I earned cash for the study and booked that vacation. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at helpresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
They say one great thing leads to another. And that's especially true when you visit a Great Clips salon. When you sit down for a haircut with the skilled and friendly stylist at one of our thousands of convenient Great Clips locations, they'll not only make your hair look great, they'll make you feel great too. And that's something you can't help but share with the world. Download our online check-in app today and opt in to get a ready next text when you're up next. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Come see Lincoln's best lineup on and off the diamond all season long. The best seat in town, the best block party, the best outdoor bar, your best night ever. Join the Salt Dogs for Nebraska Medical Association and Lancaster County Medical Society Triple Play Tuesdays, Fairbury Brand Winter Wednesdays, Thirsty Thursdays, Fireworks Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, and Sunday Family Fun Days brought to you by Casey's. Hit a home run with your next trip to Haymarket Park. Buy tickets at saltdogs.com.
Time for a new air conditioner? Bryant offers some of the most efficient available, up to 26 SEER. Call 467-1111 to schedule your free estimate or visit BryantLincoln.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
WWE returns with the Lincoln debut of Monday Night Raw, June 20th at Pinnacle Bank Arena. You'll see the return of the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. He'll go one-on-one with Seth freaking Rollins.
You're on.
Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair.
WEST.
Randy Orton and Riddle.
RK Bros.
Becky Lynch and more. Tickets start at $20. Get yours now at Ticketmaster.
Hey, it's Brad Banks of the Nebraska football team.
And Nuri Newely.
Join us this week for Sunday morning pancakes at Lincoln's Pub at 48th and Layton.
Check out the newest brunch in town and bring your friends.
That's this Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Sunday morning pancakes at Lincoln's Pub at 48th and Layton.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Joined by Sam Cook, 39 years old from Seward, Jake. Played 16 seasons with Baltimore. Why do you think it worked so well for you in Baltimore?
With success of our special teams over the 16-year career, never left the field without feeling like I got something out of it each day. And always try to find a way to make sure I got each day got better.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff at brokersinsuranceNE.com.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Bach on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's going up on a Friday here on the Block on 93.7 The Ticket. Usually this is block party time. We have the guys from Sunday Rewind. Well, they're out of town. And then we usually have Strick on as well. Oh, well, he's out of town. So we brought Sip in.
Isn't it that time of year?
It is. I mean, this is a good... I mean, June, I feel like is, at least for my family when I was growing up, it was always vacation time. I feel like it's one of the best vacation months. It's the beginning of summer. You're not like... so you're like out of school as a kid. You're just really excited to start summer. It's not like, winding down, and I don't know. I guess that'd still be a good time to go on vacation. But
yeah, it's a great time to go on vacation.
Yeah,
I don't know what's happened to my world. I don't go on vacation very much anymore. 2 jobs.
Yeah,
change jobs. Never been a big vacation guy though. Never. It's always got to be pretty extreme for me to enjoy it.
Is it the destination, or is it just being away from home that kind of
being away from home?
Yeah,
I'm sort of a homebody.
I am too. Even if I go somewhere exotic and enjoy, I'll still enjoy it and embrace it, but I'm still like, 3.5 days in, I'll be like, I just kind of want to go to my own bed.
It's about where you go. Now, I will say this, and I hope people don't take this wrong, like I'm being haughty. I do love going to the Caribbean. And I miss it. And so the pandemic stopped kind of a streak of 7 straight summers where we were going to where we were going there. And I really enjoy Barbados.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, I think that I'll have to go next year for sure.
Yeah. Plan it. Or are you going to Ireland?
Yeah, I am going to Ireland.
Well,
I've never been anywhere out of the country other than the Caribbean. So I am looking forward to Dublin.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Are you going to I feel like everybody that goes there, you can't just go for the game. You should stay for like 2 weeks. Do the Euro trip or something.
I don't think I can do that during the season.
Yeah, well, there is that, right? What's the following game? The
North Dakota.
And
it's
got to get back to Lincoln for it.
Yeah, it's the next Saturday.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's too bad. I guess for like future planning purposes, Nebraska athletics, if you're going to schedule an Ireland game again or a European game, maybe take the next week off.
Yeah, have a bye week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
No, it'll be weird. Like we're going and coming back, and I don't think the work week will be that much different, except we'll be extraordinarily fatigued.
Yeah.
Are
you just a weekender in Ireland then?
Pretty much that's what it is. I
wow.
think. Well, no, beforehand, I think we get there on the Tuesday of the game of game week. Okay.
So you got a few
days.
We do.
We get there
to mingle.
Yeah.
Go to the pubs.
So we'll get some Dublin time.
Yeah.
and I am looking forward to it.
Yeah, that'll be really cool.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Europe yet. I was planning on it. Actually, same thing. I was planning on a Euro trip, and then the old pandemic.
The damn pandemic.
Yeah. Like, all right, well, I guess I'll put that off for 20 years, and there we go. But that's all right.
Reset
I'm
your
not too worried
life.
about it. Yeah, and I did.
Yeah, you did.
Now I have a kid and a wife, and I'm not going to Europe. But it's just fine though.
You did reset your life.
Yeah.
Completely.
But that's what happens,
That's
and
what
I wouldn't want it any other way. I'm very happy with the way it
You
is.
seem very happy.
Oh yeah,
You
oh,
do.
my kid's amazing, and
Yeah.
my wife. I don't want to leave her out of it either. Tiger.
You want to have a good weekend. You
Yeah,
better-
I better
get that
mention
in
that.
there. Yeah.
My wife more so, in fact.
Yeah.
Tiger joins LeBron and Michael Jordan in the Billionaire Club. Kind of interesting that Tiger and LeBron both did it within the same few time, couple weeks time span.
Yeah.
But in any case, according to Forbes, as of March 18th, 2020, there were approximately 2,100 billionaires worldwide. Now Tiger and LeBron are in there along with Michael Jordan. Of course, it's money that most of us can't even think of. I mean, you can buy almost anything with that sort of money. If you were given $1 billion and told you could spend it at a rate of $1,000 a day, it would take you about 2,740 years before you ran out of money.
Yeah.
You
It's just
probably
like
do that.
air at that point.
Yeah. But to be fair, if you're a billionaire, spending $1,000 a day is probably a cheap day.
Yeah. A lot of expenses for one thing.
Yeah.
You know what? They're a American phenomenon. So I guess being billionaires makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
To me,
They're
right?
like brands in of themselves. Tiger, especially. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a sport.
Yeah. Yeah. What really struck me, this was a few years ago when I was reading about LeBron's wealth. He spends $1 million a year on nutrition.
Yeah.
Nutrition.
$1 million.
Yeah. I mean, you wonder how he is able to look like he does at this age.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of it. If we could spend $1 million a year on have a chef, our own chef, and eat whatever we wanted, the finest healthy foods, we would probably look different.
Oh yeah.
I would hope so.
I don't know if we'd
so.
look like LeBron.
I'd be 6'8". I'd be a 6'8" black man.
Yes, that can dunk and run and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, you'd look. It would be a different deal for sure if you could spend that.
Yeah.
And that's what really struck me one time. Man, he spends $1 million a year on nutrition.
Yeah, You just kind of think, it pays him back because he's able to stay in the league this long. So
absolutely,
it's definitely been worth it for him there.
I say that with full admiration.
Yeah, I know. And Tom, that's kind of the new wave of GOATs, I suppose. It's like Tom Brady does the same thing. I mean, he's very in tune to his body, and that's why he's able to play at 45 years old or whatever he is now
at a high level.
Yeah. How about this? How about $5,000 a day? That's 500 years that you could spend your $1 billion. Or if you spent $100,000 every single day, it would last you 25 years. So that would, that'd be a nice 25 years.
Yeah, that would be a little bit much.
That'd be hard. It does get to a point of that's hard to find enough money to spend. They say. Although I would come back with just donate it to a family that needs
something,
a little bit of it. So here's the final figure I have for you. If you were given $1 billion and told you had to spend it in 1 year, what do you think per day that would be?
I don't know. I don't have the foggiest. What would you do?
Math is very hard. I would never be able to guess.
Yeah.
It's just south of $2.8 million per day that you would have to spend it if you wanted to get rid of $1 billion in a year.
You could buy an island, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
a down payment in a house in California for that.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy money, but that doesn't shock me because of what I said. They're American phenomenon. Oh, they're worldwide phenomenon.
Yeah,
they really are.
Well, in these days too, I know, I've said the GOAT 3 times now in this segment, but I think the word that I use that I like to use sparingly, that probably gets tossed around too much too, is icon. Like those guys are legitimate icons.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's not. That should be a short list. We have our Hall of Fames and lots of great players make it to the Hall of Fame, but that doesn't mean, your icon status.
It should be a very short list. Who's the soccer player, would you say?
Messi. Yeah. See, I don't know. I'm not plugged in enough on soccer because I just don't want to say it. I just don't want to give two of them because of what I'm saying. But maybe Ronaldo would be in that conversation.
That's
yeah.
a better one.
Yeah, I would think so.
I don't even know if there is a Messi. Is there?
Yeah, Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
I think Gretzky in hockey.
Yeah. There's some in hockey though. Lemieux is Lemieux on the Gretzky level?
I don't know.
Gordie Howe.
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know Gordie Howe because you're so young,
right?
Like when I think of, there's names that pop into my head that I think are icons. Phil Esposito, Gretzky. Gretzky's the one that tops all, right?
And it depends.
Gretzky tops
again.
all.
It depends on how you want to use the term, because there are a lot of people that have a pretty good argument. But I feel like if you're going to say icon, it just needs to be like
Gretzky.
There's no
Gretzky.
Gretzky. Icon.
Gordie Howe.
I'm not sure, but see, I'm not. I don't want.
Predates
for me,
you.
I don't know these. Yeah, predates me, so I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Was Brett Hull an icon? I'd say no.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like even
wow, wait a second. DP. I don't have my glasses, but I'm gonna have to do
DP's got a
note. Okay. Hey, listen.
Yeah.
DP just he must have done this before. Icons, hockey. Here's what DP.
Oh, he's got the icon list.
Yeah, he's got the icon list. I didn't do too bad on this.
Yeah.
His hockey icon list: Gretzky, Bobby Orr, missed that one.
Yeah.
Lemieux,
okay.
got that
Lemieux
one.
made it.
Got that one.
Yeah.
Gordie Howe.
Well, there it is.
Got that one. So I missed Bobby Orr. Then he on another, baseball. Who do you think's number one icon? Number one on DP's list.
Babe
yes,
Ruth. Yeah, Babe Ruth. Yeah.
Nice job.
Jackie Robinson?
No. DiMaggio, 2. I don't know if these are ranked.
Right.
DiMaggio, 2. Okay, we'll just go to 3. Roger Clemens. DP, thanks for this list.
Yeah.
This is good. Okay, boxing. Ooh, boxing. Boxing is interesting to me. Ali is, of course, number one.
Yeah.
Now, DPS Floyd Mayweather 2. I don't know if this is 2. Tyson's on the list and Rocky Marciano. There's some other ones on there. Like, there's some other names I would put on there.
Yeah.
George Foreman. Why if I'm putting Ali, I'm putting Frazier.
Yeah. And it's weird too with boxing. If you went like back in the day in the heyday, like would you go with like a Jack Johnson?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Icon.
As opposed to, I don't know.
Yeah. Let's do another one. Well, football. Let's do football right now. Tom Brady.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aaron Rodgers.
See,
come on.
I just don't know about icon for all these names. Like Roger Clemens and Aaron Rodgers, all-time greats. But that's where I want to put the distinction of icon.
I hear you.
And that's why I couldn't do the hockey list, because I don't know which one of those guys are, that's why, like, I know, I don't follow hockey enough, but I know Wayne Gretzky's an icon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like a small list.
Yeah, I like a very small list.
Yes, just a few names.
Yeah.
Henry Aaron.
Yes. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, Henry Aaron. Yeah, that's fair.
Willie Mays. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Willie Mays.
Yeah.
But like even like Barry Bonds, who's the best baseball player I've ever seen, is he tarnished enough that, because of the well, let's say off the field stuff that translated to on the field stuff, does that hurt you in the icon status? Or maybe it helps you.
Are you going to say that about Pete Rose?
I don't know.
Pete Rose is an icon.
I feel like OJ's more of an icon.
Oh, that's a rough one. Why
know
did
you
you
don't
have
wanna
to play the OJ
Well,
card?
I'm just saying.
God.
He's more like he's outside the sports world, known regardless of what circles you run in.
But he was
like culturally,
he was everything an icon is as a player.
in football. Yeah.
He was the man.
Yeah.
So that. OJ's an icon. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
You almost feel apologetic saying it, but he was. Yeah, he absolutely is.
Yeah. And I guess that plays in the conversation too, is how much does like the character play into it? Because, I'd argue with the same thing about Floyd Mayweather. He hasn't always, said the right things, or been as I read it, the best person.
I think when you're talking about icons, that part of the discussion is not as important.
Not in it as
when
much.
You're talking about Hall of Fame, it seems like it's more important. But when you're just discussing icons, the character issues, I don't think figure into it as nearly as much, unless they destroyed their career with their character issues. Right.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say that these guys like Pete Rose didn't destroy his career, would you say, with his character issues? He tarnished it, but he still had an iconic career, right?
Right.
You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
OJ, it didn't affect his career as a player.
No.
It
affected his acting career.
Yeah.
Sideline career.
I don't know that he had an iconic acting
No,
career.
he didn't. I like Naked Gun, his appearances there.
Yeah, that's a good list. That's a good list. Go back to hockey. Gretzky, Orr, Lemieux, and Gordie Howe. I like that list.
Yeah.
Oh, soccer. Mia Hamm.
Interesting.
Pele for sure.
Oh, yeah.
We missed Pele.
Yeah.
Ronaldo and Messi.
Yeah,
we did pretty good.
We did pretty good on that one.
Yeah.
Well, does he have basketball? Because basketball,
Yeah,
I feel like
there's a lot of them.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of it. It's such a individual sport where you kind of get.
If I'm picking number one, though, it's Jordan.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Air Jordan, yeah,
the
whole brand.
And if I'm picking number two, I might go Wilt.
Yeah, good
icons.
Yeah.
LeBron's
in that category for the new generation. Yeah, definitely has to be.
LeBron's in there.
Yeah,
those might be your top three.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like, I hate to do this to like Magic and Larry made the game as far as popularity what it is, but are they icons? Certainly icons of Boston, icons of LA.
As you define it, you like to keep the list small. I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can put
because
I don't know, Bach. You can't. You got Magic and Bird.
Yeah,
Magic and Bird. I mean, that's like Frazier and Ali.
Right. Almost the rivalry together is more iconic than one of them alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is kind of, Frazier Ali's kind of an iconic rivalry, as is, you're right. Bird Magic. In the sport of basketball, that's iconic.
Absolutely.
Iconic enough that you just, all these, like if I say Bird Magic, how many images does it conjure up in your brain?
Yeah.
About 1,000.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, in mine, my brain just gets flooded with images.
Yeah.
That's part of the iconic. I mean, that's part of being an icon.
Tim Duncan.
No.
No,
it's not.
Yeah.
But the big fundamental is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But you make the distinction.
Maybe top 10 player.
Yeah. I like the distinction you make. Duncan, no, I don't see him as an icon.
Yeah.
George Gervin, I don't see him as an icon.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great players that don't rise to the level of icon.
Dr. J.
Ooh. That's close.
Yeah. That's
because
close.
Dr. J.
Right.
It's close.
Yeah. It's just fascinating. I mean, everybody can kind of separate themselves. Someday I'll make a list.
It's subjective.
Yeah. Johnny Cortland says Bill Russell.
Yeah, he's very close. I'd say it's I would lean toward yes on Bill Russell. And I would lean toward yes on Kareem.
How about Shaq?
I would lean toward no on Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
I would lean toward yes on Kareem, though.
Yeah.
I would lean toward no on Shaq.
Steph Curry?
I would lean toward no on Curry.
Yeah. Allen Iverson.
I would I'd lean toward no.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all right
Duncan.
there.
I put Iverson, Duncan maybe in the same type.
Yeah. Kobe's iconic, I think.
Kobe is an icon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kobe's an icon.
Yeah. So
Jordan is the number one basketball icon.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Maybe sports icon. How about all together?
Sports
Tiger?
Icon.
No.
Not number one.
Yeah.
Who is the number one sports icon?
I think it's Jordan.
I think you could make us. That's my first thought.
Yeah.
That's my first thought. How about that? How would you like to be that? How'd you like to carry that around with you?
Wouldn't be too bad.
No, it wouldn't.
Again,
be
it's
bad.
the billion he's got in his pocket too. You get to run the Charlotte Hornets. That's pretty fun.
Do about whatever you want.
Yeah. That would be what I would do, really. Is if anybody has ever rude to me, said I will buy your company and fire you.
Well, I would like to see you be have a little more humanity.
That's just probably, I do it at least once or twice. I think. We'll take a quick break, wrap things up here for On the Block on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Gus Cottle. Omaha's Caitlin Hanna won the Nebraska girls match play title Wednesday, defeating Katie Rouge 3-2 in the championship match at Platteview Golf Club. The title is Hanna's second Nebraska Golf Association championship. With her victory in the 2019 Nebraska Girls Amateur, Hanna is the seventh player to win both NGA titles. The Mike Peterson Coach K American Legion baseball tournament continues this weekend. Games will take place through the weekend at Den Hartog Field, Sherman Field, and Densmore Fields 1 and 2. The championship game will take place Sunday. In the Legion Baseball Senior Division, Judd's Brothers defeated Sampson Construction 16-1. Carpetland defeated Anderson Ford 2-1, and Grand Island defeated Aurora 9-5. This has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford.
2-1 count, and that's a deep drive into the gap. Smith rounding first base. It's a stand-up double.
Hey, Nick, speaking of doubles, did you know Wings and Rings has 2 ways to enjoy their next-level food?
Rico, we're in the middle of a game.
The game can wait, Nick. One way is to stop by one of their Lincoln locations. They have 2 great locations at O Street, Meridian Park, and 40th and Old Cheney in Williamsburg Village.
You said 2 ways. What's the other way?
You can order online at wingsandrings.com.
WWE returns with the Lincoln debut of Monday Night Raw, June 20th at Pinnacle Bank Arena. You'll see the return of the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. He'll go one-on-one with Seth freaking Rollins.
You're on.
Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair.
WEST.
Randy Orton and Rick.
RK Bro.
Becky Lynch and more. Tickets start at $20. Get yours now at Ticketmaster.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Hey, sports fans. Rico here with HIS Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. Carfax recently awarded us as a top-rated auto service center for 2020, and Lincoln Choice Awards voted us as the 2021 top independent auto repair center. Call us at 402-488-8934 for superior service bumper to bumper. Mention this ad and get 7% off. Doesn't get any better than that. Rico for his Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff at brokersinsuranceNE.com.
Tune in every Monday morning throughout the summer at 6:45 a.m. for golf course reviews on the Nebraska Golf Passport Early Break Golf Tour with Jake Sorensen and Steve Sipple on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money, but like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
I present the fruitcake. Long the subject of jokes, ridicule, derision, but did the fruitcake accept its place in the culinary totem pole? No! The fruitcake sought to rise to its full potential at Beatrice Bakery. Premium nuts, high-quality fruits, and the delectable trio of brandy, bourbon, and rum. Grandma's fruitcake is no punchline, but a decadent treat that packs a punch of flavor.
Check out Grandma's fruitcake and all the delicious desserts at Beatrice Bakery. Welcome to our world of yum.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Bach on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrapping up things here on the block. Don't go anywhere, though. Ticket weeknights will be coming up. We've got wings coming in. The Hot Wings Challenge. A couple members of the Husker football team from Sunday Morning Pancakes, Brant Banks and Norton Newelly, going to come in here and try and really going to have to drink water for the rest of the night after they do this.
I just think you have to be a certain age and a certain size to be able to do this.
Yeah.
I would be miserable all weekend. I got to work all weekend.
Yeah, you have to plan some time around the toilet.
You said it.
To say it as nicely as you can.
Talk.
Your tongue will not be the same for the next 4 hours. You will just kind of live miserably for the next few hours, wishing you had not done it. But then I did it, so you get to get through it and say, all this time later, yeah, that day was miserable, but who cares? I did it. Yeah.
I think you're a big dude. You can do it, and you just got to have a big couch to go to.
Yeah.
And watch your game. Watch your game tonight.
But you need to have like 7 glasses of water, and even that, like I tried chewing gum to try. I just do anything to try to get the taste out of your off your palate, and it's difficult.
You're going home to watch the Celtics.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Pivotal game tonight. If they win tonight, I think they've got the series locked up in Boston. I don't think the Warriors are winning 3 in a row.
You'll be locked in hard, won't you?
Oh yeah.
Did you tell wife already?
Oh yeah. We're gonna put the little one to bed. It's 8:00 tip off. That's usually his bedtime anyway. So
did you get into it?
I've kind of learned the press box. And I don't really I do notice that I can't objectively watch the Celtics like I do other games. Every little foul is a foul to me, on the Celtics. So if I were roughing the game, it would just be Celtics free throws.
So there's expletives in your living room?
Not necessarily, but maybe.
I was into LeBron so much as a fan when he was in Cleveland that I actually would have trouble sleeping if they lost.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I would have trouble falling asleep. Or if they won, I'd go to bed really happy and be in a better mood the next day. I knew at that point I was a huge Cavs fan. It just happened organically. But it was really fun for that period because I hadn't really experienced that since I was a Raiders fan in the 70s when they had Stabler. Stabler and Mark Van Egan and Branch and Biletnikoff.
They won a title back then?
Yeah, they won an NFL title with John Madden.
That's right, yeah.
So yeah, that's when I hadn't experienced that. When the Raiders would lose, I would weep. When Muhammad Ali lost, I would weep.
Oh gosh, now I'm thinking about Nebraska.
But that's a long
Remember that? It used to ruin people's weekends.
Yeah.
Now I just brush it off by 6:00.
Well, really? I think it
do.
Still ruins a lot of people's weekend.
I hope so, but remember back in the day. It was Osborne days, even or Solich. Like there would be like 1 or 2 losses a year, and it would just ruin your.
Oh
week.
yeah, I remember I was in a fraternity, and we canceled a party when they lost to Oklahoma on the Keith Jackson touchdown.
Oh yeah,
or whatever he had. I think it was that year. Was it 87?
It sounds about right.
Yeah. And I was sort of astounded, by the way. Like, we're really canceling this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Nobody's in the mood.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's. I like that 62-36 loss to Colorado.
Yes.
I just didn't recover from it ever. I don't think. But especially
you still haven't recovered, Bach?
Well, you remember going into the Miami game, and it didn't feel like that Colorado game.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, yeah, Nebraska's on top of the world. This team should be number 1. We're ready to take everybody down. And since that, obviously, you've never regained that feeling.
No, that game is marked as the sort of the where it all kind of started to unravel a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
And by the way, this is the 12 years ago today was when Colorado left the Big 12, and they basically left because there was definitely a lot of rumors around Nebraska about to leave as well, and Nebraska left the next day. So 12 years ago, today and tomorrow will be officially.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. I remember being in hotels in Kansas City, following Harvey Perlman and Tom Osborne around. And I can't. Oh, what was the Big 12 commissioner?
Was it Bowlesby back then?
No, it was. I can't. I'm not going to be able to say the name, but it was an incredible time to be a sports writer. It was very complicated.
Do you think that move would have been less embraced if Osborne didn't make it? You think like there would have been the idea like Tom Osborne never would have left these rivals behind, or do you think that it was just embraced either way?
I think it would have been embraced either way.
Yeah,
I think people were ready for it. They were very. There was
just the anti-Texas feeling.
Yeah,
was high
There's
enough.
an incredible excitement.
Yeah.
All except for Bo Pelini, who was not excited by it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was. I think people would have embraced it.
Thanks to Fat Phil off the text line. Dan Beebe says.
Dan Beebe, yeah. Fat Phil. Fat Phil is very reliable.
Oh yeah,
he is. I'm serious. Thank you, Fat Phil.
Yeah, thanks for that. And thank you to Sip for joining me. I would have done this hour alone, and it would have been a lot worse. So thank you so much, Steve, for jumping in here.
Welcome. You helped me this morning. I appreciate that. So
yeah.
You've helped me a lot of mornings, so it's the least I could do. Bob.
Absolutely, guys. Stay tuned for Ticket Weeknights coming up next. That'll wrap it up for On the Block.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and